And a fine mess we have here. This is supposed to be an Ender 3 V2 printer. 3D printer, Creality. Picked this up at an estate sale, $20, and it looks just like this. I don't know exactly what all's in here, what's missing, or if we can even make it work again, but if nothing else, I can use the parts. So we're gonna go through this coming up. Hi, I'm Roger, and welcome to the loft above the shop. And I have here, as I mentioned, a Creality Ender 3 V2 3D printer, and it's just all in pieces and parts, and it's taken apart farther than I can imagine why anybody would have done. In fact, even the motherboard cover is off of this. I don't know how much hardware is missing. I don't even know if all the parts are here, but estate sale, it's $20 as is. One thing that's nice about this is I have 4 of them behind me, so I have spare parts this way. A lot of these parts, such as stepper motors and the little wheels are right on the extrusions, also work on my lasers. So it's always nice to have spare parts. So if I can't make this work again, I'll have parts. We're going to get into this box. We'll see what's here and what isn't here. So as you can see, just the way it's sitting in the box, the bed was even taken apart. Here's the glass. And it appears that somebody at one time did something with it, and it looks like they had their nozzle too low and gouged the glass pretty good. So we'll get that set off to the side here. Here is the bed. It doesn't appear to be broken. Why they took it apart this far, I have no idea. So we'll get the base out of here. Find out what parts are laying around here. The cover for the motherboard is pretty tore up here. And somebody's played around in here. And not everything's plugged in. Actually, not everything's plugged in where it's supposed to be. So that'll take some investigation. The hot end there, it's obviously been used. So this worked at one time. There's my Z-axis gantry, or Z-axis trolley, I should say. There's the motherboard cover with the wires ripped off the fan, so that'll have to be replaced. The Z-axis limit switch, trolley, the controller, and the bracket for the controller. What I'm not finding here is really any kind of hardware. My extrusion's out of here. There's what's left of the cooling fan off of the motherboard enclosure. Power cord. This is what the Z-axis rod is supposed to be in. And there's the Z-axis stepper motor. Well, let's see what's underneath this. Not much for hardware. We've got some wires that have been cut off. Got a few screws here, not too many. Most of the hardware obviously here is missing. There's a Z-axis coupling. So this is going to be, I think, just for parts. Not know that I want to invest in trying to buy all of the parts that would be needed to make this a fully functional printer again. Here's one of the glass clips. You know, we have a note in here. You know, this is when they bought it. $260.84. Okay, I don't see anything else useful in here. So what's the verdict here? Obviously this is going to be a short video because these are just going to be spare parts. There are too many things missing and too much hardware missing to bother trying to make this into a functional printer again. If all the parts were here, I wouldn't have any problem trying to put this together and see what we could do to make it work. But what's missing, we're missing the extruder motor, missing the extruder. I do have extra extruders. I do have a couple extra stepper motors, but all the hardware is missing. Pretty much all the hardware for everything to put this together. There's a lot of wires here that have been cut. I don't know what someone was doing or trying to do or what here. I'm also missing the Z-axis rod and the part of the upper part and the X-axis belt and the belt tensioner. So there's so many things missing, it's just not worth trying to buy replacement parts for it. I'll just save it for parts. Say these, it's for $20. I mean, these stepper motors are a decent one is $15, $20, and I've got 3 of them here I can use. Plus I have a spare hot end, I've got a lot of spare wheels. That's a 4.2.2 motherboard. All of my other printers behind me are running the 4.2.7, but that doesn't mean I couldn't use this if I needed to. It's just I just changed the firmware to match the motherboard. Whether or not this controller works or not, I don't know. I may plug it in on one of these and try it, but I already have one other spare of these. So, can't win them all, but for $20, I thought it was worth it, and I wasn't allowed to go pawing through the box. Otherwise, I probably still wouldn't have passed on it, not for the price. So that's all there is to this. Got a bunch of spare parts. Got anything out of it? Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up, always helps the channel. And if you're ever out looking for stuff like this and you find some kind of deal where you can get this for spare parts, it's worth it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.